Hi everyone, my name is Mary, and in this video I'm going to be showing you different ways to create a repurposed paper quilt block. We're going to be working in the same style as the contemporary quilt artists whose work is on display at the shack. These artists work with materials that go beyond the traditional use of cloth, and we're going to do the same thing tonight. All right, so just like quilts hold memories and stories within the materials and the patterns, so will our repurposed paper quilt blocks. Our quilt blocks are going to be assembled in 3 layers, much like a quilt, except our piecing is going to be more similar to a collage type of technique or a collection of materials. The first thing you want to do is think of a theme. By thinking of a theme, that's going to guide you as you select the materials to use. So in this example, my theme was memories that have traveled with me throughout time. So as my base, that'll be the first thing that you need is a base cut into a square. It can be any size that you wish. I just used chipboard, and you can find chipboard on the back of a tablet or a cereal box. And then I used black masking tape for the borders. This is an envelope from an old pen pal letter, and then some snippets of maps, a definition of memory, and then a leaf skeleton that has also seen many miles past. And then, so my pieced layer, and then my accent items are these 2 little yo-yo pieces from a quilt that my grandma had been working on. And so showing time being passed along the miles for memories. Okay. Go ahead. All right, once you have a theme in mind, you can start using your base. So my theme for the example blocks that I'm going to be doing today is thankfulness, things I'm thankful for. And I'm again using chipboard, and to cover the base, I just used the inside. This is a security envelope, and if you open up security envelopes, oftentimes there's a wonderful pattern on the inside. So I laid my chipboard on top of an envelope and just cut it and then taped it to secure it on the back. So just folding it in and folding the corners in like if you were wrapping a gift, and then just taping that down. So now I have my base. I chose this pattern for my theme in thinking of, it reminded me of like the sky, sort of a gray-blue sky, and I'm very thankful for the outdoors. Other ideas for bases, you can use corrugated cardboard, and the difference between chipboard and corrugated cardboard is that you can peel back a layer of the corrugated cardboard and even make use of the texture inside. Besides covering it with an envelope, you can use packaging materials to cover your base. You can even use old artwork. So this was covered by doing just a paper weaving, attaching it on the back of some strips from watercolor paintings that I just cut and then attached one row and then wove the others through. All right, for your second layer, these are some items that I chose. It's very interesting if you can find something transparent to go over your base as well. So this is just regular tracing paper, and I'm going to use that for my borders. And as you're placing things, you just want to keep in mind composition and areas that are interesting. You want to put them all down and assemble them without glue. So these keep popping up, so I'm just going to put them off to the side, but I know that I want these for my border. The next materials that I chose, I cut up a greeting card from a close friend, and this square is from a memo pad in a hotel room from a trip that I took with friends. So these are symbolizing being thankful for friendship. And as you're placing them down, you can see if you want part of it underneath showing through, or if you want it on top. So it's almost like putting together a puzzle. So you're gonna just keep playing with the arrangement. Here's a stamp of a juniper that I really like, representing nature. I chose the tracing paper because to me it sort of looked like clouds on top of the sky. This is a mailing address, thankful for my home. And the next thing, the next item that I found to use would be cardboard. I am very thankful for cardboard and I love working with it. I'm also thankful that it can be used in, instead of being thrown out, that it can be recycled or used in artwork. So I'm going to glue this all together now that I've decided how to arrange it, and then I'll show you the finished result. A good idea, once you have your arrangement down, is to take a photograph of your work so that once you dismantle it, you can remember how you want to put it back together. Okay. All right, so here is my thankfulness quilt block all glued together. And again, you want to just, when you're arranging, you want to mix it up so you have some areas showing beneath the transparent layer. The last thing I'm going to add, or the top layer, is going to be an accent item. So in this first example, these little yo-yo quilt pieces were my accent item, and the leaf actually was my transparent layer. So for thankfulness, I'm going to attach as my accent a safety pin and a button, and that represents being thankful for my grandmother who taught me how to quilt and how to sew. And as I was putting this together, I was thinking about the challenge that the pandemic times really hold. And sometimes it's difficult to just keep in mind things that are positive. And so I'm going to title this Surrounded by Thankfulness, and so that I can remember that this was made during the pandemic, but I am continually surrounded with things for which I can be very thankful for. And now is the time for you to create your own block. And this is my finished one. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I would love to see images of the quilt blocks that you create.